Hey everybody, today I'm going to list and discuss something that's been on my mind over the last several months. The top 10 things that I definitely do not miss about when I had dreadlocks. I combed out my dreadlocks in May 2016, this year. And a few months have gone by and I have not felt the need to get them back. The first set that I had, it only took like a month and I wanted them back immediately. But this time around, it's been a little different. It's been quite a transitioning type themed changing year for me. So what's been on my mind the most since I got rid of this last set has been what I don't miss about it. You know, there was a lot of good about them and I loved them, don't get me wrong. I loved every moment of it. But there are some things that I feel like not a lot of people are aware of what happens when you do have dreadlocks. The number one thing that I definitely will never miss about having dreadlocks is the attention. The type of person I am, I don't really like attention. Not fond of attention, not really fond of standing out too much or people looking at me or anything like that. And when having dreadlocks was a learning experience for me. People would stare and it didn't always mean bad, but I was getting a ton of attention. I'm a big fan of being a wallflower, just like hiding in a corner and people just kind of like treating me like I'm invisible. I'm a fan of being kind of invisible. But I knew during the whole time that I had dreadlocks that I was asking for attention, so I kind of just lived with it. I got used to it, and I got a little bit better about how handling it and dealing with it. But number two, this kind of coincides with the attention. I definitely don't miss the questions that people would ask. So the questions, which were mostly the same questions everyone would ask, and I would never, put someone down for asking a question that has been like the most frequently asked anytime I go out in public. They don't know. This is new to them, not new to me, but patience is definitely some tip I would give someone if they wanted to have dreadlocks. So the questions like, how do you wash it? Is that your hair? How long did it take you to do that? And my favorite, can I touch it? No. Not only am I not really a fan of attention, but people wanting to touch my hair, touch me, and ask me all the questions, interact with me socially, which, I would rather people ask questions than just sit back and just stare and just look and assume, Wear sunglasses if you're gonna stare. That's what I do. I wear sunglasses when I stare, People watch with sunglasses on, don't just people watch them and look at them in weird, awkward places. And I've personally never felt the need to want to touch a part of someone that I don't know. Maybe some people are more hands-on and they want to touch, but I just feel touching is very personal. You're my bubble. My safety bubble. Number three. Now, I have nothing against people who partake in this, what do I call it? Could be a hobby, could be something they have to do, something they love to do. I have nothing against it. It's just something I choose not to do or partake in. Gotta love semi-trucks that just go over speed bumps. But a lot of people, especially people who would meet me for the first time or at a social gathering where it's friends of friends where we're all gathered together, whether it be at a bar or a restaurant or a birthday party, some sort of gathering. But I definitely don't miss when people just assume that I smoke weed. And now again, I have nothing against weed. I have plenty of friends who smoke it. But they would just assume that I do because I have dreadlocks. A lot of people also, here's another one. A lot of people assume that I, listen to Bob Marley and I like reggae music. I have nothing against it. I just don't really listen to it. The next thing that I don't miss, number 4, is people assuming that I'm dirty. And this one I understand. I totally understand because, you think dreadlocks, hippies don't shower or wash themselves, However, I had super clean dreadlocks and I would even tell people to come smell them because they smelled like lavender. But it was always a lot of fun to overhear someone's conversation saying how dirty I must be. I must be dirty. Those can't be clean. Number 5. This is more of I'm now at ease. I don't have to worry about this anymore. And so it's kind of nice and kind of calming and reassuring that I don't ever have to really worry about bugs. Yes, bugs happen. And you know what else I don't have to worry about? Lice or fleas. Sure, yes, with even normal hair, you do have to worry. But even if you get it, it is so much easier to take care of with normal hair than it is dreadlocks. So worst case scenario, you get lice, you do a treatment on it, you get it done right, and it's gone in a few days. With dreadlocks, I don't even want to get into the process. I've never had lice, I've never had fleas. I have known people who have had them, and I have witnessed the what we call like the cleaning process, the process of killing lice and fleas in dreadlocks. It just makes you want to shave your head even when you don't have it. And the phantom itching, as soon as you hear someone has lice or read on the internet this lice thing is happening or flea infestation, phantom itching, it just happens. It's a thing. You just start itching. You're like, I know, I got it. They're invisible. They're the ghosts of the dead ones. Number 6. This one has been a life changer. Sleeping. Sleeping will never be the same. I got used to it with sleeping. People ask me all the time, how do you sleep with dreadlocks? How'd you do it? You know, so when I had them, when I would lay on a pillow, I would just throw my dreads over the pillow. That makes sense? Like on the back of the pillow, like lift my hair up over the pillow, and my bed didn't have a headboard. It just kind of, there's a gap between the wall and the bed, and they would just hang over and just kind of flap there and just lay there. Sometimes they would stay, but other times they would end up wrapped around my neck or over my face or on my husband's face or on my husband's neck. And I remember waking up in the middle of the night many times with him throwing them back at me. You know, it's true love. Both times I've combed up my dreads with my first set and my second set now, it's always been the same. The showers are amazing. Oh my gosh. And your pillow is a dream. You feel like you're in fluffy heaven, just rolling your head all over that pillow, just like, oh, I haven't been able to lay like this in years. Number 7. You know, whenever you're sick, you get a headache, you know, your head just feels 10 times heavier. Think of triple that with dreads. Dreads are heavy already. You know, it's a lot of hair. It's hair that should have naturally just fallen off, shedded, but now it's like, if you're holding on to it, it gets heavy. So in everyday life, I got used to it. I got used to the weight. You learn to kind of adjust. But if you got a headache, whenever I would get a headache, or when I was sick, if I had a cold, anything, if I didn't feel good, my head did not feel that great. It felt 10 times heavier. It was miserable. So it's almost like that didn't really help. I couldn't just like function. I had to lay in bed and prop my hair up on something and just lay down just to relieve the weight, pressure, whatever. So that is definitely another thing I don't miss. Number 8. This is one thing, I don't know, this is maybe more my experience. Maybe it's not a big deal around others, but I definitely won't miss, like, whenever I interact with children. If I'm around, whether it's children in my family or other people's kids, or other people's kids' friends, or just children in general, you know, they would often wonder, why does my hair look like that? Why doesn't their hair look like that? Why do I have my hair? What's wrong with my hair? Just the questions children would ask, because children are innocent. They don't know. But I also don't want to make their parents feel uncomfortable, or like them uncomfortable, or scared of me. I did scare a little girl one time, but I was wearing a lot of makeup. It was like around Halloween time, and my hair, I made it crazy, and I did scare a little girl. That wasn't nice. That wasn't nice of me. I didn't do it on purpose. I looked scary. I was wearing a lot of black. It was really dark, spooky. Number 9. Now this one, it's a little ew. It's a little, you might go, ew, what, ew. Just so much ew. But dandruff. I don't miss dandruff. I don't miss the itchiness and dandruff. Doesn't mean that I had like bugs or lice. It's just like, you know, when you have an itchy scalp, dry, it itches and it causes dandruff, and sometimes worse than others. And yeah, I wash my dreads often, and yeah, I put essential oils in to help and whatnot, but this didn't happen all the time. Dandruff was not like an everyday thing. It was a every once in a while thing, but when it happened, it sucked, and you. It was you. I don't miss that at all.